Chapel Hill buzzed with anticipation on September 1st, 2025. Not just for football, but for a new era. The town was alive with energy, as if every street and storefront had been painted in Carolina blue. From Franklin Street to the University Quad, the excitement was palpable, with students, alumni, and lifelong fans all converging for a day that felt destined to be historic. Bill Belichick, the NFL legend whose name is synonymous with championships, was making his college head coaching debut at UNC. For decades, he'd been the architect of dynasties in the pros, but now he was stepping onto a new stage, one filled with tradition, pageantry, and the unique challenges of college football. Kenan Stadium overflowed with Carolina blue, a sea of fans eager for transformation. The stands pulsed with hope, every seat filled with someone dreaming of a new chapter for Tar Heel football. The air was thick with possibility, and the crowd's roar echoed the belief that change was finally here. The pregame was electric. Country star Chase Rice amped up the crowd, while Tar Heel royalty like Michael Jordan, Lawrence Taylor, and Mia Hamm watched from the sidelines. It felt like the entire sports world had turned its eyes to Chapel Hill, eager to witness the beginning of something special. Belichick's arrival had turned a 6-7 team into the center of college football attention. National media swarmed the campus, and fans who once hoped for bowl eligibility now dared to dream of championships. The buzz was undeniable. UNC football was suddenly the hottest ticket in town. Hopes soared that his NFL genius would bring discipline, smart play, and above all, wins. Players spoke of a new culture, one built on accountability and relentless preparation. The community believed that Belichick's meticulous approach could finally unlock the program's potential. The crowd believed this first game against TCU could be the start of something historic. Every cheer, every chant carried the weight of years of longing for greatness. The anticipation was almost overwhelming, as if the entire stadium was holding its breath for what was to come. Yet, beneath the celebration, questions lingered. Could Belichick adapt to college football's unique challenges? Would his NFL strategies translate to a younger, less experienced roster? The pressure was immense, and even the most optimistic fans wondered how quickly success would come. He'd overhauled the roster, bringing in 70 new players to reshape the team. Transfers, freshmen, and walk-ons alike were given a clean slate, each one vying to be part of this new era. The locker room buzzed with competition, and the sense of possibility was contagious. As the sun set and kickoff neared, hope and uncertainty mingled in the air. The golden light bathed the stadium, casting long shadows and heightening the sense of drama. It was a moment suspended between past disappointments and future dreams. The stage was set for a dramatic debut. Chapel Hill was ready to witness history, and as the teams lined up for kickoff, everyone in the stadium knew they were part of something unforgettable. The game's opening moments were a dream for Tar Heel fans. The anticipation in the air was almost tangible, as if everyone in Kenan Stadium could sense that something special was about to unfold. The stands were packed, a sea of Carolina blue, and the energy was contagious, fans of all ages on their feet, waving towels and shouting encouragement. Quarterback Gio Lopez led the offense onto the field, and the crowd's energy was electric. Every step he took seemed to charge the atmosphere even more, and his teammates fed off that intensity. The team looked focused, determined, and ready to seize the moment. UNC's first drive was flawless. Sharp passes, strong runs, and a dominant offensive line. The offense moved with purpose, executing each play with precision. The linemen created gaps, the receivers found space, and the running backs powered forward, refusing to be brought down easily. Play after play, they marched 83 yards, mixing runs and passes to keep TCU off balance. The drive was a showcase of teamwork and preparation, as every player contributed to the relentless push downfield. The Tar Heels kept the defense guessing, never letting up for a moment. The drive ended with a touchdown, sending Kenan Stadium into a frenzy. The roar from the crowd was deafening, echoing across campus and signaling that UNC had arrived with authority. Players celebrated in the end zone, embracing and high-fiving as the fans erupted in joy. It was the perfect start, exactly what everyone had hoped for. The sideline buzzed with excitement, coaches exchanged nods of approval, and the players' confidence soared. It felt like the beginning of something big. The scoreboard read 7-0, and belief surged on the sideline. For the fans, it was validation of their faith. For the players, it was proof that their hard work was paying off. The momentum was firmly in UNC's favor. This opening drive was more than a score. It was a statement. It set the tone for the game, showing that the Tar Heels were prepared, confident, and ready to compete at the highest level. The unity and determination on display were unmistakable. The offense looked disciplined, creative, and nearly perfect in execution. Every play seemed to build on the last, and the coaching staff's game plan was unfolding exactly as designed. The players trusted each other, and it showed in their crisp, coordinated movements. For a few minutes, the Belichick era seemed destined for greatness. The coaching staff's vision was coming to life, and the team's confidence was unmistakable. It was a glimpse of what could be, a new chapter filled with hope and possibility. But the game was just beginning. The opening drive had set the stage, but there was still a long way to go, and every play from here on out would test the Tar Heels' resolve and determination. The euphoria after UNC's opening touchdown faded fast. TCU answered with a methodical drive, quickly silencing the home crowd. The Tar Heel defense, expected to be a strength, struggled to contain TCU's attack. After their brilliant start, UNC's offense stalled, 5 3-and-outs in 6 drives. The offensive line faltered, pockets collapsed, and running lanes disappeared. TCU's confidence grew as UNC's rhythm vanished. The Horned Frogs dominated both sides of the ball, turning the game one-sided. The stadium's energy waned, replaced by unease as the scoreboard tilted. TCU controlled the trenches and capitalized on every UNC mistake. Tar Heel legends on the sidelines watched with concern. The dream debut was slipping away. TCU's offense dismantled the Tar Heel defense, racking up 542 yards. Their ground game was relentless, rushing for 258 yards and breaking off big plays. Kavorian Barnes's 75-yard touchdown run epitomized UNC's defensive breakdowns. TCU's passing attack was just as effective, exploiting coverage gaps and outpacing UNC's secondary. The balanced attack left UNC's defense reeling, unable to adjust. The final score, 48-14, was a shocking record for a Belichick-coached team. Never before had a Belichick defense allowed so many points. The performance was a harsh lesson in the realities of college football. The challenge ahead was clear and daunting. UNC's collapse was total, punctuated by catastrophic turnovers. 2 turnovers led directly to TCU touchdowns, a pick-six and a scoop-and-score. These mistakes turned a bad loss into a blowout, highlighting ball security issues. After the opening drive, Gio Lopez went over 2 hours without a completion. The offense couldn't move the ball, protect the quarterback, or adjust to TCU's pressure. 5 3-and-outs in 6 drives told the story. The offense was lost. The defense couldn't stop the run or pass, and special teams offered no spark. It was a team-wide failure, outplayed in every phase. For Belichick, known for discipline, it was a chaotic debut. The lopsided score reflected the performance. UNC had been thoroughly outclassed. Gio Lopez's night unraveled after the opening drive. Under pressure, his poise vanished, and he struggled to connect with receivers. A hard hit in the third quarter forced him out with a back injury. Backup Max Johnson entered, leading a late touchdown drive and showing resilience. Johnson's spark was a rare bright spot, and the quarterback competition was suddenly wide open. Belichick acknowledged the uncertainty at QB, adding another challenge for the staff. The quarterback question now loomed large for UNC's next game. After the defeat, Belichick faced the media with trademark bluntness. "They outplayed us, outcoached us, and were just better tonight," he admitted. He listed the fatal flaws: too many 3-and-outs, long plays allowed, and turnovers for touchdowns. "You can't overcome that," he said, taking full ownership of the loss. Despite the setback, Belichick promised, "We've got a lot of work to do. We'll get at it." The players echoed his resolve. Max Johnson urged, "Don't lose hope. We'll keep working and trust each other." The locker room was disappointed but not broken. The message: this was a painful lesson, but only the first game. The focus had already shifted to improvement. The blowout loss exposed the unique challenges Belichick faces in college football. College rosters are young, ever-changing, and require constant management. Belichick brought in 70 new players, many arriving after spring practice. The lack of continuity showed. UNC looked disjointed and out of sync. College football's pace, recruiting battles, and new rules are a steep learning curve. NFL strategies don't always translate. Motivating student athletes is a different game. The loss was a humbling reminder. Rebuilding at UNC would be a long, complex journey. As fans slowly filed out of Kennan Stadium, a heavy sense of disappointment hung in the air. The echoes of cheers had faded, replaced by quiet conversations and the shuffling of feet. For many, the hope of witnessing a triumphant Belichick debut had been dashed in a single afternoon. Players trudged off the field, heads down, jerseys stained with sweat and grass. The dream of a storybook start was gone, replaced by the harsh reality of a tough loss. But in the world of college football, one game is never the whole story. Building a championship program is never a straight line. It's a journey filled with setbacks, hard lessons, and moments that test your resolve. In the locker room, coaches reminded the team that every great season has its share of adversity. This loss, while painful, exposed weaknesses and gave the staff a clear starting point. Reviewing game footage, the coaches saw not just mistakes, but opportunities for growth and improvement. The true test for this team isn't how they handle victory, but how they respond to adversity. In the days that followed, the players came together, determined to learn from their mistakes and support each other. The next week's practice became more than just drills. It was a chance to adjust, to recommit, and to prove that one loss wouldn't define their season. Every rep, every sprint, was fueled by a desire to get better. Belichick and Johnson's words echoed across the field. Get back to work. Don't lose hope. Focus on the process. This mindset, resilient, relentless, and optimistic, is exactly what UNC needs to move forward. The journey has just begun. The story of this season is far from written, and every player knows that the next chapter is theirs to shape. With each practice and every game, they have a new opportunity to prove themselves. The excitement and anticipation before the game weren't misplaced. They were just a little premature. The passion of the fans is still there, waiting for the team to rise to the challenge. The potential for greatness remains, but now the real work begins. In the weight room, on the practice field, and in the film room, the team is laying the foundation for something bigger. For UNC and Belichick, this rough start is only the beginning of a long road ahead. The journey will be challenging, but with every step, they move closer to their ultimate goal.